What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Now before I get into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out real quick to two of my biggest sponsors, YodaForce and C4 Fabrication. Now they've been a huge part of making this build what it is today. And it's actually been about 2 years since YodaForce completed this build, and I figured it's about time for a full walk around update. If you haven't seen that original build video, I'll drop a link in the description just so you can go check it out. So today we're going over my full 4Runner build, from armor to the suspension, wheels and tires, lighting, and everything in between. If you have any questions about the parts I'm running, drop them in the comments below. I love talking builds with you guys, and be sure to hit the subscribe button just so you don't miss out on any updates, because I'm going to be updating the 4Runner, making it look completely different from what it looks like right now. So yes, subscribe if you want to keep up on all of that. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and just get into it. Starting up at the front for the bumper, I went with the C4 Overland Series front bumper because I wanted something clean and yet functional. But what I really love about this bumper is the look. It's aggressive, even a little tank-like, but still sleek. It's made from 3/16 inch steel and weighs in about 150 pounds. I've taken this thing through brush, snow, mud, and even a run-in with a deer, and still it is standing strong without a single dent or complaint. Now I know a lot of people swear by running a winch. I had one in my last 4Runner and I never used it once. So for this build, I kept it clean, no winch for now. And my thought is, if you don't use it, maybe you don't need it. And if for some reason that changes down the line, the bumper's already set up for it, so I can always add one later. One thing I also appreciated with this setup is C4 now offers in-house powder coating. Now you can order it with the powder coat included. It is an extra cost, but not as much as you think. Now it shows up at your door ready to bolt on and hit the trail. No extra running around, no added hassle, just one less thing to worry about when you're already knee-deep in a build. Right here in the center, I have the Heretic 30-inch light bar tucked into the bumper, and you can get these in clear or amber. I went with amber for now, but swapping them out is easy if I ever want to change it up. This thing throws out a ton of light on dark trails, it just floods everything in front of me, and since it's built right into the bumper, it's protected and out of the way, so no big bulky light bar sticking out waiting to get snagged on something. For lighting, I'm running KC Highlights Flux Era 3s both in the front bumper and up here as ditch lights. I've got them all in amber to match the light bar and keep the whole front end looking consistent. The thing I really love about these is the design. The three-way light pattern is just unique in my opinion, and you don't see a lot of lights shaped like that, so it gives the truck a little extra character even when they're off. Up front, I am running the Fox Race Series 2.5 suspension. I wanted something that could handle the trails I do without beating me up on the road, and these have been solid. The 2.5s give me that extra travel and control, especially when I'm hitting washboard roads or tough trails at speed. They soak up the chatter, but yet still feel planted when I'm crawling over rocks. In the back, I paired them with the Icon 600-pound rear springs. Now I went with the heavier springs because of all the weight I am carrying, my bumper, my gear, camping setup, and they keep the rear end sitting level instead of sagging. On my previous build before I knew much about suspension, I was sagging a lot in the back, and I am just happy that I don't have to deal with that now, that I know what I'm doing and what products I need to be putting on my vehicle. Together, the Fox and the Icon setup keeps the 4Runner comfortable on those long drives, but still I'm ready to handle rough trails without bottoming out. So for me, this was the best balance between daily comfort and off-road capability. I'm currently utilizing the ball joint upper control arms from Dirt King. Sometimes I feel like this is overlooked a lot of the time, but when upgrading your suspension, it's crucial to replace the stock upper control arms just to ensure the safety and performance of your vehicle. The stock control arms may have weakened over time, compromising both their strength and geometry. By replacing them with stronger, more durable control arms, it will significantly improve the handling and stability of the vehicle. For tires, I'm running Nitto Ridge Grapplers in the 35s. I'll be straight with you, these are about ready to be replaced, and they will be once I continue my mini mod build series, but for the sake of the video, here's what I've got on it now. And when I do replace them, I'm going right back to the Ridge Grapplers. Now I've ran Nitto for a long time, and I've tried their other models like the Recon Grapplers, and I'll say, they are awesome in the winter. The Recons do outstanding in my opinion. Where I live, there is a bunch of snow and slick roads, and with the Recons, I rarely slide. I barely slid at all compared to the Ridges. But overall, the Ridge grapplers just hit that sweet spot in my opinion. They handle well in pretty much every condition I've thrown them at, and a big sell for me was they've got that aggressive stance that just makes the truck look right. It's a mix of performance and style that keeps me coming back to these ones, even after trying something else. For wheels, I am running these 17-inch Falken Off-Road Apollos, and they are a little special to me because I actually took part in helping with the creation of this specific design. Now they come in a few different colors, matte black, bronze, and gunmetal, but I went with the black for my setup. Now what I like about the Apollos is they've got that sleek, clean face, but still enough edge and depth to look aggressive on an off-road vehicle. Now they're not over the top, but they do make a statement without even trying. Along the sides, I'm running C4, again, Fabrication rock sliders, and I went with the option for step plates. I like having the extra grip when I'm getting in and out, especially if it's wet, muddy, or I'm loading stuff on the roof. Now these are built to take hits, not just look pretty, so I've dragged them over rocks more times than I can count, and they save my doors and rocker panels every single time. The step-up plates make them look a little more practical for daily use, and I think it actually makes the overall look much better, but they're still full-length sliders. The step plates are an option, so you can add them or not have them, but I think they're a little more practical for the daily use of things. So whether I'm using them to step up on or strap something down or pivot around a rock, I know that they'll be able to handle it. On the back, we have the C4 Rear Overland Series bumper with a swing out. This has been one of my favorite upgrades for both camping and my range days. The swing out has a fold down table built right into it, which is perfect for setting up gear, cooking, or just having a place to work when I'm out in the middle of nowhere. You can mount MaxTrax, a full-size spare, or even one of C4's baskets for water or fuel cans like I have here. That basket is sold separately, but it's a nice option if you do long trips. I did swap out the stock handle for the rigged Ultra Swing latch. It's even more secure and has a smoother feel, and I just like the confidence of knowing it's not going to pop open when I'm bouncing down a trail. For me, this setup gives me all the utility I need in the back without sacrificing durability or looking too bulky. And while we're back here underneath, I'm just running the C4 differential skid plate. The rear diff is one of those things that you do not want to smash on the trail, and this keeps it protected without getting in the way. On the rear hatch, I have the C4 ladder. I actually had this on my first 4Runner, and I knew I had to have it again for this build. It's one of those simple mods that you end up using way more than you think. So whether I'm strapping down gear on the top or just needing a stable step when I'm trying to get up on the top to close my tent, this thing works amazing. I also added the side steps for the ladder, which are sold separately, but they give you a little extra footing, especially when you're reaching out to the far side of the roof rack. The fit is solid, it doesn't rattle, it's such an easy install, and it doesn't get in the way of opening or closing the hatch. I really do appreciate that C4 went above and beyond with the look of the aggressiveness of this ladder rather than just sticking with a basic ladder you see on the market with other companies. Up top, I'm running the Sherpa Crestone roof rack. It's been solid for everything I've thrown on it, but for the big one, it's my XL OVK Alayu Gen 2 Rooftop 10. I've also added Sherpa's side panel for the back windows, which attach right to the rack. They've made it easy to mount these accessories in recovery gear or anything I want quick and accessible without digging through the back of the 4Runner. Installing the rack itself was pretty straightforward, definitely something you can do in the driveway without a shop, and while the tent lives up there most of the year, I usually pull it off during the winter to save some weight and make the truck feel a little lighter. So this is the KC Gravity Pro 6 LED curved light bar I've got mounted on the front of the rack. This one's the full 50-inch with the 8 lights, which is a lot of light to squeeze onto a Sherpa rack, but I made it work. Now KC's system is cool because it's modular. Each pod can be rotated or swapped so you can change your beam pattern. The curved design follows the lines of the roof and just looks cleaner than the straight bar up there. But the real trick is fitting all 8 lights. I ended up crafting my own mount out of an extra Sherpa crossbar, which let me space everything perfectly and still keep all 8 lights. On dark back roads or trails, this thing turns night into day. It's honestly one of those upgrades you don't fully appreciate until you're out there in the middle of nowhere and flip it on. Hands down, this is one of the brightest lights I've ever seen on a vehicle. Up front, I'm running Alpha Rex Nova Series headlights in Alpha Black. These completely changed the look of the 4Runner. and it's such a gorgeous headlight. But it's not only looks, these things throw out a ton of usable light, way brighter and cleaner than stock with a sharp cutoff. They also have the sequential headlights go off when you're using your blinkers, and the cool thing is they have that feature where you can switch between amber and white DRLs. On the back, I swapped out the stock tails for the Alpha Rex Lux series taillights. These completely changed the look of the rear end. The design is always sleeker than stock, with the sharp LED signature that matches the Nova headlights up front. They're full LED, so the running lights, brake lights, and turn signals all pop up way more. It gives the truck a more modern, aggressive look, and honestly, it just ties everything together. One thing I like is how that sequential turn signal is one of the most small details that just makes the rig feel next level. For me, the perfect finishing touch on the rear end, clean, aggressive, and it flows with the rest of the build. So that's the full rundown of my TRD off-road 4Runner build. Every mod has a purpose and everything works together for the way I use it. And of course, none of this happened overnight. It's been a process, doing comparisons between my old build and figuring out what works for me and what I actually make use of. But that's the fun part. It's always evolving. Huge shout out to YodaForce for sponsoring this build. If you're looking to start modding your own rig, head over to their website and use my code in the description to save 5% on any mod you're after. This is where the build is at for now, but stay tuned and subscribe because I will be adding different mods to the vehicle. Each modification I do is basically going to have its own dedicated video, and it's going to look almost unrecognizable.